So normally, I always like to do audio reviews. I always like to give you guys the best value, the best things for your dollar, and I always like to recommend things by other companies other than the popular companies out there, because sometimes companies offer a lot of things that most don't. Well, today's episode is one of those, but I think I'm going to be going in a different route because for the first time, I'm going to be giving you a review from 3 different perspectives like I normally do, but I'm going to be more brutally honest because I was watching reviews on these headphones and I don't know where these people are coming off calling them overboard and gushing with so much positivity, because honestly guys, the Soundcore Life Q10 in my opinion are just and I'll explain why. Yo, what's happening everybody? Michael here. Welcome back to another episode of Technoid. In today's episode, we're going to be taking a look at the Soundcore Life Q10, an over-ear pair of headphones that Soundcore is raving will be the best headphones that you could buy for $50 and also high-res audio for half the price. Now, I just want to start off by saying that these headphones were not given to me. These were paid for by my own money, and nobody's influencing me to say anything, so everything you're going to hear is raw and uncut, real truth from my perspective. Now, these headphones retail for $50, which is pretty incredible, and sometimes you can find them on a bargain. I was able to get them for $30, but it is for a limited time. So if you are interested in wanting to pick these up, I will leave a link in the description for Amazon. It is not a referral, it's just a standard link. I don't get anything out of it, and I don't care. If you want them, just get them. Now, with all that out of the way, well, actually, no, there's one more thing. To those of you clicking on for the first time, I am a tech show host. I run a show called Technoid, but every once in a while, I like to branch off and do reviews. So if you like the content today that you see and want to see a little bit more, please consider hitting that subscribe button and turning on your notifications so you don't miss when I upload. Now that we've got that out of the way, let's get it going. Now for starters, these headphones really weren't my go-to choice to review. I kind of just picked these up because they were on sale and I wanted to see what all the hype was about. I had seen a couple of reviews on the internet from most notably El Jefe and Just Doing Audio, and they crave about these headphones. They say they're a great pair, they're this and that, and I thought to myself, let me check them out and see what all the hype's about. Well, I can safely say that after a month's use, and after using them on day-to-day, and also taking them with me to workouts, to regular listens in my house, I can safely say that this thing is a product of overhype. Not just by the reviewers, but also by the manufacturer. Now listen, I'm not going to sit here and bash Soundcore for this review, because if you guys are questioning where I'm coming from, I am unbiased, as I own Soundcore products, the Liberty Air 2, the Liberty 2 Pros, and for Christ's sakes, I own 4 Soundcore Flare 2, so I am a heavy Soundcore user. So I'm very aware of their products. But I am going to be honest, before I even started, I am kind of disappointed by these. But before I get to that and explain why, let's start from the beginning. So with all my unboxings and all my reviews, I like to start off with what you get in the box. So taking a look what you get in the box is the headphones that come nicely packaged. You also get an audio cable and a USB-C cable made by Anchor. You also get your booklets, and that's about it. Now taking a look at the cables and that come in the box, they are very cheap. The audio cable is a joke. It feels like something you could get at a 99-cent store, so I would advise you to invest, if you are getting these, in a better 3.5mm aux cable. Now, taking a look at the actual headphones themselves, these things are, yeah. Now listen, for $50, they're not bad, but I was expecting a little more because Soundcore, because it's Anchor, you would expect them to give you high quality things for half the price, but this is one of those examples for what you pay is what you get. Now for starters, these things are built okay. They are made of plastic, but I will say it is a cheaper plastic than you're accustomed to, so you're going to notice it feels a little toy-like when you get these. But taking a look at the headphones, they do have a nice headband. They do have the Soundcore logo on the side. The ear cups are memory foam, and they are very, very comfortable. I will say they are very breathable, so when you put them on your ears, they don't feel too pressed, they don't feel compressed and everything. The top, you get a little bit of padding, but there is no actual padding on the inside. It's actually just an air gap. The profile is very similar to the Beats Studio 3s, so that's where that air gap comes from, so I am a little bit skeptical on that. And then taking a look on the side of the headphones, you have your buttons, the bass up technology, the volume controls, and the power button. Now the play and pause are all integrated to the power and the volume. So when you press the power button once, you get to play and pause. When you use the volume, you hold them for 2 seconds, you get to skip and go to the next audio or reverse. And that's about it. Now, my first problem with these headphones are the buttons. They feel very, very flimsy and very, very plasticky. Now, of course, again, it is $50, so you're not expecting high quality, but these things, like I said, feel like a toy. When I make them a little noise if you can hear that, they feel very toy-like. And when you press the buttons, they don't feel very secure. They feel very flimsy and have a lot of taptic to them. I find that very bothering because when I'm using them, whenever I'm on my ears, I can hear them from inside the ear cups, and it's very, in my opinion, I would say very flimsy, so I'm not really a big fan of that. Now, there is a positive. There is a metal hinge on the inside, and it's a very sturdy metal hinge, so I will give it that. They do adjust very nicely. They do stretch out nicely. Now, at first, when I did the stretch test, I was very skeptical, and I was like, okay, these feel pretty good. But after close inspection, I noticed there was a little bit of a plastic on the left side of the ear cup, and after zooming it in, that is actually an adhesive that's actually inside of the metal hinge. And I'm very skeptical about that because I'm questioning how long these will last. Now, some users are able to use them for a while, that's good, but for me, seeing an adhesive on the inside already starting to pop out gives me a little bit of a red flag. So I question the build quality on these. Now, when it comes to putting them on your head, again, they are very comfortable. I'm not going to complain there. They are lightweight. At 10 ounces, they're very nice and light. And honestly, they don't have a problem when they're on my ears. Now, they don't have noise canceling, so you are losing out on noise canceling, but what you get out of that is incredible battery life. These things have 60 hours, and I have yet to charge these things once. So I will give that it has great battery. Now, when it comes to the headband, there is one issue for me. I do feel that since there is no padding, there is a bit of pressure at the top of my head, which do tend to make them feel uncomfortable. I can only probably sit through these about maybe 30 minutes at a time, or when I'm watching maybe 1 or 2 Netflix shows. So I will say that even though these are comfortable, this piece, the top part, is not that comfortable. Now, when it comes to the specs, these things do have a USB-C and a 3.5mm headphone jack. One thing I will say, the sound signature on these, before we get to it, they do stay consistent both wired and wireless. That is a good positive, as you don't have to turn them on to expect better sound quality, so I do like that. These are rocking Bluetooth 5.0, so you are going to get less feedback or less cutout in that case. And I will say that it has quick charging. 5 minutes of charge will give you 5 hours of playback time, which is very incredible. But now we get to the sound signature, and this is where I have to call out a couple of audio experts. You know, you guys call yourselves audio experts and you review these things and say these are some of the best headphones you reviewed, but I've listened to these for a week straight and I don't know where you're getting that claim. Now listen, headphones are governed by the law of science. The larger the transducer or the larger the driver, the better it will reproduce ultra low frequencies. Now, this is one of those examples where it fools your ears into basically hearing certain frequencies in what I like to call the wow factor. That's exactly what these things do. They have a upper bass heavy sound where the low and mids bass signatures are up without the bass on technology at first. That way you get a nice punchy sound, but with that punchy sound comes a problem as it decreases the mids signature and your high end, making it very muddy and very unbalanced. And I think that's my main problem with these headphones. They don't feel balanced. Now, they do tout about high-res audio, but I don't see that anywhere in these. For me, these just sound like $50 headphones. Now, I am somebody that uses higher-end audio headphones like AKG, Bose, and Sony, but I was expecting Soundcore to give a better signature for these, but I am rather disappointed because the Liberty Air 2 had a better sound signature, the Liberty 2 Pro had a better sound signature. Even though it was bass heavy, you still were able to make out your different instruments, your vocals. They were having better separation. These things don't have that much separation. And to these audio reviewers, I don't know what you're craving because these things are just bass heavy. They remind me of a pair of Beats except unbalanced. But let me do say that with the bass technology off, they do sound okay. You do have your low end, your mid end is in there, but it's very bass heavy, so it drowns out your mids. Your highs are in there, but you cannot make them out with all that bass. You do hear your vocals, you do hear some instruments, but it is super bass heavy, and sometimes it distorts the music. Now, there is no latency with the Bluetooth or the aux, but the sound signature on these are just very bass heavy and very, very jokey. Now they have this thing called bass up technology. Now, bass up technology is rather good. And honestly, the problem with me is that I can never see myself using these. Maybe for some people you can like it, but when you turn that on, not only does it kick the bass up, but it kills the vibe. Not only is the music drowned, but at that point, you're just listening to sound effects. You're not even listening to music. Now, I won't say these are terrible, as I have heard worse, but this is a joke. For $50, it's too bass heavy, and I don't know how people can like this. My only way I could see myself using the bass up technology would have to be a Netflix show or an action movie, where there's a lot of guns, a lot of action scenes. That I could see myself using. But for listening to music, I can't. I'm sorry guys, I can't. Now, there are a couple things I want to note out. It does not have an app support, which is a big negative for me. With all Soundcore products, some of them, they do have the EQ features where you can adjust. However, with these things, you cannot adjust them. So what you hear is what you get. And I don't like that because you can't adjust the sound quality. So you're just gonna have to get used to it, and I don't like that. Now, it is not just with these, but it's also with their other over-ear headphones, but that still is a negative on its own. The battery life, like I said, is excellent. Other side notes would probably have to be that some people say it works better with Android, as I find that is the case because I did try to sync these up with iOS and it really wasn't that great. However, there are rumors saying that they have made an updated version, so I'll have to be the judge of that. But yeah, these things work best with Android. So overall, what do I think of these headphones? Well, again, like I said, to these audio experts, I don't know why you hype these things up because I'm going to be honest, you guys fooled me. And I'm not saying maybe it's my fault, maybe I listened too well, but I'm going to be honest, the audio reviewers fooled me. Now, I'm not saying you're making a false video by no means, but you basically overhyped these headphones to what they're not. Now, this is me. This is my opinion. If you don't agree with my opinion, that's fine. But listen, if I'm going to separate this, we're going to start with the people that are on a budget. If you're on a budget for these headphones, I would say maybe look a little bit better, but you can go for these because they're not that terrible. There are a lot of positives here. The ear cups are comfortable. They do have excellent battery life, USB-C. The sound signature is alright if you're a bass-heavy listener. And I guess for the most part, they do the job. And they don't break the bank. And you can get these for cheaper. Now, if you're an everyday user, I will say this right now, stay away from these headphones, as these are not the right ones if you can afford better end headphones. Now, for somebody like me, the only way I can see using these things is when I work out. I did find that when you use these when you work out, they do feel a little bit better, as when I am working outside with jump rope, speed bag, and punching, and when I train for MMA, I can use these. So these would probably be my favorite workout headphones, but again, that bass signature is too high for me. Now, honestly, I'm going to just say this. Even though I can recommend these to a couple of people, here's who I recommend them to. If you're a bass-heavy listener, if you're a bass head, if you're a workout person, or if you're a person that can only afford $50 headphones, then I would say pick these up, as they do a good job to an extent. But if you're everybody else, don't get these headphones. They're too heavy on the bass. You will not have a good enough separation. And I don't agree with the sound signature on these. Now, I didn't do a microphone quality test, as I did have some problems trying to get the microphone quality, so I apologize in advance. But if you do want to try these out, here's my advice. Before you make a judgment on what you think, I would advise you not to listen to other people. And that includes me, because we say different things. The only way to truly get your experience is if you try them out. So I would advise you to buy them, try them out, and if you like them, keep them. But if you don't like them, return them. Because the only way you're gonna know if these are right for you is if you tried them out. Now, if you are somebody that is thinking of buying these, I would suggest personally maybe save a few extra dollars and get yourself a Sennheiser headphones, as they are $80 and they have a little bit of a better sound signature. And even though it is behind on Bluetooth, it still is a better sound signature. That's just my opinion. I guess at the end of the day, I am just very disappointed. And I'm very split because I can recommend them to certain people, but I can't recommend them for everybody else. So at the end of the day, you're just gonna have to make your own judgment and you're just gonna have to try them. Now, I'm not trashing Soundcore or anything. I said it in the beginning. I am a Soundcore user. I have their products and I really like Soundcore. I just feel very disappointed with these headphones and I feel let down. Hopefully Soundcore makes some adjustments. Maybe they tweak the bass down a little bit and maybe do a better job with the future release. But as of now, I mean, it's not breaking the bank, but you could do a lot better. So I would say to those people, save up a few extra dollars and go get yourself a different pair like JBL or Sennheiser. And that's it for today's episode of Technoid. Now guys, again, I'm not trying to trash these headphones. If you do have them and you enjoy them, that's all that matters. You don't have to take my opinion for it. If you're somebody looking for them, like I said, try them out and see what you think. Now, if you already own these headphones, please let me know your thoughts down below in the comments. Let me know what do you think of them. As always, guys, if you like the video, hit the like button. If you dislike the video, hit the dislike button. That helps circulate my videos as well. As always, guys, thank you so much for watching. Take care, everybody, and peace.